that early. You did okay, Victor. You could have been far earlier. Trying to get my phone set up here. Sorry, man. All right, this little janky setup, it works. I have this. It's like a $10 tripod for my cell phone, and it works though. It works, and this is the same one I've been using for years now. So hopefully everybody's doing well. Victor, what's up? Grumpus, I see you. What's going on? How you doing this evening? Victor and Grumpus are saying hi to each other. Hey Grumpus. Hey Victor. Hey Victor. Hey Grumpus. Grumpus says, hey Dash. Hojo says, evening Dash. Getting any of the Canadian smoke in Baltimore? Yes, indeed we are. What's crazy? My wife walked outside this morning. Now, mind you, I was cooking a brisket today. I had a brisket I had an order for this afternoon, and I was cooking a brisket. I had the brisket going on the Traeger of all things. I've started to cook some small things on the Traeger for customers. So, customer cook on the Traeger, and she walked out the door when on our way to take my daughter to school, and she's like, "Oh my gosh, you see all of that?" She's like, "Is that you? Is that the smoke? Is that the smoker doing all of that? Like that's a problem. The fire department's going to be called." And I'm like, "No, that's not me." I said, "That's from wildfires in Canada." And she's like, "What?" I'm like, I know you haven't listened to the news and heard, but there's some wildfires in Canada that are burning, and there's smoke up and down the East Coast because of it." Um, when I went to Myrtle Beach, the last time we went to Myrtle Beach, I met a guy in Myrtle Beach, and he and I were out taking pictures at sunrise, and we got to talking. Long story short, he still sends me pictures of Myrtle Beach. This is like 2 years later since the last time I was in Myrtle Beach, and he was showing me pictures of telling me that there was haze down there in Myrtle Beach this morning. So so far, that's the furthest south I've heard. Uncle Steve, what's going on? How you doing this evening? Bumpy says, "Hey yo, Dash, candy from last week, penny candy, chocolate gold dollars, fireballs. What up, everyone? Yes, sir, man. I need some. Oh, I won't say I need some Swedish fish, but I have a couple things here. So I have some Jim Beam honey and some Jack Daniels honey. I feel like I have 5 shots. I don't know. I feel like 5 of these. So three Jim Beams and 2 Jack Daniels honey. So if y'all want to see me drink, maybe put up $10 and I'll drink one to the head. I'll have a drink in the refrigerator. I just have to go get it. But the reason I pulled those out is because I was getting ready to pull out some of these candies. Man, you know, if you let's say you grew up in the inner city, but if you grew up where you could get these sorry, fruities. Now these particular ones that I have here are the selected ones that I put in my bag. I went to there's a farmer's market in Laurel, and in the farmer's market there is a candy shop, and I got selected flavors. I got some strawberry lemonade, some watermelon, and green apple. Those are what I put in my bag, and I didn't get too many because blood sugar be darned, but I got some. This is going on almost 2 weeks now. Blind Man Cooking. He said, "What's up, everyone? Hey, Dave. I'm waving at you." Um, Grubba says, "Whiskey review. Nice. I don't know about a whiskey review, but I mean, if somebody wants to put up $10, I'll take a shot. I have 5 of them. So, you've been warned. Don't really think I'm doing any shine tonight. My stomach's a little upset, but let's drink warm liquor. Brilliant decisions. So I'm gonna get up in a moment and get some ice in my cup, and I have one of those charged lemonades from Panera. I think I talked about it before or last week. Hopefully, Panera they're doing this unlimited sip club, so you can get a drink every 2 hours when you're in Panera. So I make it my business to go to the Panera, even though it's not very close. It's like maybe 4 or 5 miles away from my house. But I make it my business to go to the Panera at least twice a day. And they have this charged lemonade. This charged lemonade is like 300 milligrams of caffeine. So I've had 2 of those today. Well, I ordered 2. The first one was first thing this morning, and the last one was just about an hour ago. I got a second, and I haven't started drinking that one yet. But what's crazy is when I went in to the Panera, because they were so busy, they're like, "You remember the Sip Club?" Yes, I am. All right, here's a cup. You remember the Sip Club? Yes, I am. Here's your drink right here. So yeah. Chris says, "Hello, boys." Jeremy says stomach is upset because it don't have any clear in it. Ain't got no gas in it. That's the problem right there. Ain't got no gas in it. Oh man. So, oh, Jeremy, you sound like an enabler there. I actually have some beers in the refrigerator. We had a meeting at the range, and I was able to procure some beer and a couple shots here. Let's see. I'm definitely a Jack Daniels fan, but the honey Jack is best as a dessert topping, blended with butterscotch and drizzle over some ice cream. Honey Jack is best as a dessert topping, blended with butterscotch and drizzle over. Uncle Steve said all I drink is Jack and Coke. Well, I guess Jack is up first. I don't have any Coke, but we're gonna pretend. So, Uncle Steve, salud. Thank you, Uncle Steve, always for helping a brother out with some shakes and things like that. I think I told you last week, I made some chicken thighs last week with the Texas Red, and I didn't realize it was that spicy. My son, taste tester number 2, was like, "Oh, it's spicy. It's good spicy, but it's spicy." There was a time I went through a honey jack phase, and that was all I was drinking. Rick just home on the range, yes indeed. Jeremy says, "Just messing, bro." Oh no, I agree. Ain't got no gas in it. For sure. Man, oh man. How's everybody doing though? I saw Jeremy, Victor, Uncle Steve, Grumpus, Chris Sutton, Blind Man Cooking, Dave, Bumpy is here. Who else do we have here? If Hojo's here, if I haven't said hi to you, please comment below and I'll say hi to you. I like to be cordial. Say hello, welcome. Thank you for joining. Definitely. We're gonna have to get some candy though. That honey jack, woo. That's just it's right down on in the stomach. Just sitting right there. Rambo. You're like Kratos from Wish. Okay. Since I don't know who that is, I'm going to take it as a compliment. Since you took the time to join my live stream and to leave a comment, I can't do anything but think it's positive. Anyway, how is everybody else doing? Uncle Steve, Victor says, "Uncle Steve, Jack and Coke is my house drink. I have walked the holy grounds of the Jack Daniels distillery, the holy grounds of the Jack Daniels distillery, grounds in Lynchburg, Tennessee. Eventually, I'll get there, maybe, kinda. Quentin says, "Hey yo, what up, Quentin? How you doing this evening?" And that's strike three. Mm-hmm. Rainbow, keep commenting away. I'll wait to see what the next thing you have to say is. Quentin said, "What up, Dash? How you doing?" I was saying, if you don't know Lynchburg, you don't know Jack. Neil, Neil, you know what? I don't know if we should be saying hi to Neil. Like Neil, maybe we should be sending you some fire extinguishers or something. Uh, Neil said, "Good evening, all friends. All good evening, all my friends. How are we today? Good, I hope." Quinn said, "What up, Neil?" Hmm. Neil, someone asked if I was seeing smoke here in Baltimore. The answer is yes. Yes, I am. Um, Definitely. I was saying that I have a friend who's in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina, and he also told me where he sent me pictures today. He sends me pictures of the sunrise almost every morning from Myrtle Beach, and he told me that there was haze in the air from the fires in Canada. Neil said, "Yes, I could use a bunch. If you wouldn't mind, I have some to spare." Oh, I have some to spare. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Sorry about the smoke. Nah, man, we completely understand this. Unless it was you who started the fire, you'd be like Smokey the Bear and be like, only you can prevent. All right, Jeremy, way to keep us on track. We said our hellos and talked about the current events. So Jeremy says his most memorable cook was my first one. Just got a bullet smoker and ended up doing pork loin. Everyone thought it was the best thing they ever ate. Who We were 14 at the time. Nice, nice. I know now it may not have been good, but nothing like what I do now. Yes. It's so funny. You say that, Jeremy. Those pivotal cooks and things like that, when you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. And then you do it better and you're like, oh my gosh, this is the best thing ever. And you forget about just how bad the last cook was when it's still bad. But when you get it right and you get it right consistently, yeah, when you get it right and get it right consistently, that's where it's at. That is the bee's knees, as they say. Quentin says my most memorable cook was the first Thanksgiving I did on a big green egg. Used that damn royal oak charcoal. Had the egg set to 350 and literally the coals all burnt up and the temp was dropping before the bird was done. So Quentin, I want to say, what kind of charcoal are you using? I'm gonna say are you using currently or using now. But if you know don't like royal oak, what are you using? The Jersey Devil? What coke charcoal are you using now? Quentin said had to pull the whole thing off, add more coals, and get the thing back up to 350 and put the bird back on. He said he'll never forget it. Yeah, I have a memorable cook I'll talk about. Quentin says Jersey Devil all day, every day, twice on Sunday. Jason Leet says, "What's up, peoples?" With Z's. Yes, Jealous Devil. So my memorable cook was one that I use as a reminder. Or just here's one that I use as a reminder. I see people adding liquids to their meats, like when they wrap their meats. So let's say you're cooking a pork shoulder, and this is what I was cooking. I cooked a pork shoulder, and when I ended up wrapping the pork shoulder, but what I did was I added some apple juice, probably about a quarter of an inch of apple juice, into the pan that I put the pork shoulder in and wrapped it tightly with aluminum foil. The apple juice stalled my cook because the apple juice had to come up to temperature before and get past that temperature before it could actually continue to, the pork shoulder could continue to cook. So when I say it stalled my cook, it stalled my cook. So when I see people putting liquids into pans that they use and they're putting barbecue in, like pulled pork especially, I'm just like, oh, that's gonna stall your cook. Oh, you just added 2 or 3 hours to your cook. And this was early on in my, I won't say career, but early on cooking for other people. I had, and this was before I actually had like pricing and all that stuff. This was back when I was doing it for my friend, and I was cooking pork shoulder for his mother's. They were having a birthday party, and I was supposed to meet him in like 4 o'clock. I didn't end up delivering that pork shoulder until about 8 o'clock, and I narrowly beat the birthday, birthday girl basically to the house because that cook stalled, like completely stalled out, and I was panicking. So I know now, don't add cold liquid to a cook because you will stall your cook and add lots of cook time. Ask me how I know. Uh, Jeremy says, I wish I could go back and taste it again, but the memories from that cook was worth it. Yes. Neil says, do you think you would make any difference if you added hot water to your water pan compared to adding cold water to your water pan? I do, Neil. I do. And one of those things, whenever someone says they're going to add some liquid to a pan, like if you're going to put pulled pork, or not pulled pork, pork shoulder in, and they add a liquid to it, or if you're doing, like I've seen people do ribs and add like beef broth, or brisket and add beef broth, though you don't need to add beef broth or anything, those liquids to those meats, they will produce enough meat by them, or liquid by themselves. I do recommend warming up the liquid prior to adding it to the pan. Now, that's not to say for the, like if I'm adding water to a cooker, I definitely try to add lukewarm to warm water to that cooker just so it's not fighting, like I'm not wasting energy, wasting fuel trying to get that water up to temperature when the water heater could have done, could have helped me out. Jeremy says, I learned to warm up any liquid or butter or lard or tallow. Yes. Victor says, that's why you should always preheat all liquids before adding to the cooker. Jeremy says, just from what you said, I've stalled out adding cold liquid. Yep. Quentin says, I add liquid to my ribs when I wrap. Is it warm? Jimmy, he said, what's up? He must have heard me talking about South Carolina. That's why Jimmy popped in at this particular moment. Jeremy says, lards, tallow, or butter is all I add. Okay. Remind me to find out what you've added to what it is you cooking. Quentin says, not warm. Never thought about that before. I'll give it a try next time. Yep. Victor says, I pour boiling water into my cookers. In fact, yeah. So Victor, you might have either a bigger pot for boiling water, or you might have a smaller water capacity or lower water capacity than some of the cookers I have. I know Vicky has the smallest water pan of the big smokers, and that water pan is like 10 gallons. Bernadette, the way I'm cooking on Bernadette now and using full pans, catering full pans, I can add, or I do add about 5 gallons of water to those pans. There's 4 pans that I have on the bottom of the cooker, and I usually put about 1.25 gallons into each. So typically it's 5 gallons of water between the 4 full-size pans. And then Bernadette's water pan is like 25, 30 gallons, like at least. I did measure it, and I have measured the capacity on those cookers, and I just don't remember the numbers. Neil said, I've added hot water to my water pan and I've added cold water to my water pan. I personally don't notice any difference. So, Neil, the difference in the water pan is not going to be felt as immediately as if you put something cold, as far as a cold liquid, in with your food. That cold liquid will actually cool and bring down the temperature of your food, and then you have to heat that liquid back up to cook past it, to get past that temperature. But when you put cold water or hot water into your smoker, the only difference, in my opinion, because I've done it both ways, is that temperature will level out. It'll take a little while for the temperature to level out when you use colder water. Quentin says I spritz my char chip with broth and my special vinegar blend, but it sits at room temp. Same for steaks. If I'm trying to impress someone, see, but something like that, a spritz is fine, Quentin. In my opinion, like I've actually been spritzing the briskets that I've been putting on the Traeger lately, and it is helping. One of the complaints that I had about the Traeger was it dried stuff out, and two reasons why I think I felt like it dried stuff out. When I had the Traeger cooking at 250 or 275, 250 or 275, the fan blows harder and faster, which dries out, in my opinion, that outside edge, that bark, and creates a much tougher bark than I particularly care for. So with that being said, I have been cooking a lot of things, or cooking the briskets especially, that I've been doing at 225. And I'll just, of course that means they're in there longer, but I started it was said to be 16 pounds, 16-pound prime brisket on the wrapper. By the time I trimmed it, it might have been 14 pounds. I don't actually weigh the fat that I trim, but that being said, I put that I put that brisket on the smoker today at 5 a.m. I pulled that brisket out of the oven at 12:30. I I put it and I had it in the oven, or excuse me, I had it in the Traeger for 4 hours, maybe. So from no, it was probably closer to 10 o'clock, 10:30 at the latest. And then I put it into the oven. When I put it in the oven, it was at 145, 150 degrees. And I put it in the oven at 300 degrees, bumped the heat up just a little bit, wrapped it foil in a foil pan, and it was done at 12:30. Done at 12:30. So y'all do the math. It doesn't take all day to cook a brisket. Um, Jeremy says lard or butter for pork, tallow for brisket or beef ribs, and I smoke the tallow and lard before I add when I wrap. I don't smoke butter though. I mean, that'd be kind of messy trying to smoke some butter. I have different size water smokers. My vertical cabinet smoker is only about 3 gallons. My Weber Smoky Mountain is only about 3 gallons. But the large in insulated vertical smoker, IVS, is 5 to 10 gallons. Yeah. Quentin says, I'd say my best memorable cook was when I first did a spatchcock chicken, and it turned out great. I was so happy. Confidence was on 1,000 after doing that cook. Yes. Quentin says, probably one cook I'm most proud of still today is that chicken. It looks so great. Yeah. Jimmy says, I can't cook without a water pan, but I have to start with hot water. Jason says whole bottle chamber of OC is a water pan. Oh, the whole bottom chamber of my OC Old Country Brazos is a water pan, usually 2.5 gallons of room temperature water. Keeps my smoking chamber moist through long cooks. Makes for easy cleanup too. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. I honestly I don't understand, but I'm not a fan of letting the grease drip on like hot metal. It makes everything taste like burnt grease. I am it's bitter, it's acrid, and it to me it just tastes like burnt grease. Neil says I have spoiled myself. I can't seem to buy chicken wings at a sports bar that taste any better than the ones I make at home. So I would have to say chicken wings are one of my favorite cooks. Quentin says I've been using water pan, but I still come on. I can't look at the pictures right now, Quentin. Using my phone. Thank goodness it didn't mess up the live stream, or did it? Nope, still going. Says I've been using water pan, but I still had a flare up in the egg with the recent ribs I cooked 2 days ago. Before the water pan, the drippings would hit the deflector and cause steam to build. I mean, yeah, it is, but that hitting the diverter pan or that diverter plate in the big green egg is one of the things, one of the reasons why I stopped cooking certain things in the big green egg, and or only cook things in the big green egg with water pans. I'll put the water pan directly on that diverter plate, and then put my grate over top of it and let it ride. Um, Jeremy says, put it in the pan. Yeah. Of course, says, oh damn, I almost crashed the stream. Nope, nope, nope. Thank goodness you did not. Vicky says, if I'm smoking turkeys, I do them 10 to 12 pound birds in 3 to 4 hours, depending on how much smoke I want. I have to add water halfway through and my cabinet smoker. Yes, indeed. It depends. Because when I'm cooking turkeys, I'm using Bessie to cook to smoke the turkeys. And the turkeys that are up higher in the cook chamber are, of course, going to finish first. But the one you would think sometimes that the turkey that's in the front is going to be the one that's going to cook fastest. Usually not the case. What ends up happening is the smallest turkey in there in the bunch that's on the top shelf cooks first, and then I end up starting rotating things around. Like I'll move stuff forward, I'll move stuff back, I'll move stuff up from the bottom shelf up to the top shelf, and move things around until I'll move things around until we get a nice even. Until we finish. I don't say even anything until we finish. Steven, what's going on? How you doing this evening? Salud. I don't know. I think I like the Jack Daniels honey more than I like the Jim Beam honey. Might have to do another test shot in a little bit. Victor says, but the large IVS can do 2 or 3 cooks before needing to add water. Uh, it depends on how long. Like, depends on what I'm cooking, on when I need to add water to the smokers. But usually, I cook. Whatever it is I'm cooking, I drain that whatever water and gunk is left, and then put fresh water in there after every cook. What brown? Yeah. So we had a meeting at the range the other day, and I procured some shots. I started drinking beer, and I was like, let me take these off the counter before, make sure no one else got them. I have some beer too. It's in the refrigerator, but it's like, say, hipster stuff, IPAs and whatnot. Steven says Jack Daniels honey is good. Yes, indeed it is. So tonight is a battle royale between the Jack Daniels honey and the Jim Beam honey. I think I like the Jack Daniels honey more than I like the Jim Beam honey. But they both look pretty darn good. I think though I like the Jack Daniels honey more because that's the one I was accustomed to drinking. But I went through a Jack Daniels a honey Jack phase. Like it was a phase, probably about 6 months or so. That was like the only thing I drank. Like to the point where if I was helping a friend work on his car, I'm like, yo, bring a bottle of honey Jack. That's my fee for helping you work on the car. Doing brakes, front brakes. All right, bring a bottle of honey Jack. We doing both brakes. Bring 2 bottles of honey Jack. Front and rear, bring 2 bottles. Captain and Coke is my go-to. That's what's up, Jeremy. I don't say I don't do much cola, but I really don't. Be it Coke, and it's only Coke for me. I'm not a Pepsi drinker at all. But Coke Zero or Diet Coke. Me like some sugar liquor, yeah. Victor says, already said I do my turkeys in 3 to 4 hours. My cook chamber temp runs 300 to 350 depending on how much smoke flavor I want. Yep. Definitely agree. And I try to cook when I do turkeys, but then again, I'm also doing 14 to 16 turkeys. I try to keep the temperature up again between 275 and 300. Three and a quarter is I'll say pushing it, but I end up getting a little bit of a dirty smoke when I cook that high and burn it that. Quentin says Jim Beam made the apple to battle Crown Apple. What Jim Beam apple stuff was the worst mess I ever put in my body. Lord, I ain't been back to Jim Beam since. Yeah. Neil says I have a little bottle. A little bit of good news. What's that? Oh, is it raining up there? Grumpus is me and Jim Beam have many stories to tell. Go ahead, Grumpus, get comfortable. Get your type on. Kent, he says, hey, yo, Dash. What's up, Kent? How you doing this evening? Oh, nope. My water bottle's in the kitchen. Jimmy says, I have loved some ladies, and I have loved some ladies, and I have loved Jim Beam. Shoot. Like I said, I like the Jack Daniels honey over the Jim Beam, though. But still, both of them are pretty good. Definitely not going to kick either one of them out of bed. You know that saying. Kent said tired, need to go back on vacation. Where were you the last time or this time, Kent? I saw you were somewhere, but I can't remember where you were. Hold on 1 second, guys. I'm gonna check on you again in another couple minutes.
I didn't even snore.
I said you were breathing heavy. Go to bed. Jimmy says the next line is that they both tried to kill me in 1973. Golly. All right. Jimmy says I try to hard smoke turkeys for a half hour at 250, then bump up to 350 to finish, and then seeing that plenty of smoke flavor and stay juicy. That's interesting. Good night. Number says Jim. Were the ladies before the Jim Beam? Let readers assemble. Yeah, I want to say y'all not gonna get me. I know the tricks of the trade. Always cover. Jeremy says, "Uh-oh." Victor says Jack Daniels single barrel. Smooth. Neil says all is well there, just trying to stay out of the smoke. Yeah. Grumpus said I did my one and only turkey at 350 the whole time. Stupid Royal Oak. Neil says I have to get 208, I guess, subscribers. 208 subscribers to 1,000, Neil? Oh no, he says he has 208 subscribers. That's what's up, man. You are a fifth of the way there. Shout out to Bumpy. He must have fallen asleep. Victor says I always brine my turkeys now for about the last 25 years. So moist and succulent. You know, when I read that the first time in my head, I'm like, Victor Bronze's turkeys for 25 years? What? But then I read it again before I read it out loud. For the last 25 years, Victor has been brining his turkeys. Quentin said I got some Maker's Mark, Maker's 46 tonight. I'm sipping on. Went to a little AWS event in DC liquor store, literally right next door to the event. Shout out to Amazon for knowing the assignment. Yes, indeed. Man, oh man. So who else has a memorable cook, good or bad? You know, we're not judging. We're kind of just talking about them to, help others. Um, that I won't say that first time, but when you get a meat that you've been trying to cook down pat, beef ribs, like for me it was like I was leaps and bounds. First it was I cooked ribs for someone else. Then it was pork shoulder I cooked for someone else. But like the first time I got a text message from a customer like right after I dropped their food off, and they were like, "Oh my god, like oh my god," like and I still worry. Like every to this day, I worry about every single cook. I have a young lady that I cook for. I feel like once a month, but it's like once every other month. She orders something, and the last time I did wings for her, and I've gotten to the point where we talk and we have conversation and things like that. So I dropped the wings off, and we're standing talking, and and what happened? Oh, so I left after I dropped her wings off. I left, and she called me, and I'm like, oh, did I forget something or something wrong? And I'm like, hey, what's up? And she's like, oh my god, you sir, I don't know what you keep doing to these wings, but they are fantastic. I'm like, yo, can you not call me like just send me a text message or something saying that you really like the wings? Because when you call me, that means that like I thought there was something wrong. She cracked up laughing. She was like, you have nothing to worry about. I was like, but I do every single time. She's like, well, that's good, but you ain't got nothing to worry about. So yes. Richard said, oops, yes, I should have spoken better. No, you're fine. Quintus is 36 minutes, still on topic. Yes, yes, yes. When you guys call me out on different things, I try to remain on topic. Quentin called me out a few weeks ago, like, we haven't been on topic the entire time. The first hour, we're supposed to stay on topic. All right, I got you. I am actively, this is where the clock is on my screen. I want to say the count up, but this is the timer on my screen. Is right there, and I'm showing 38 minutes and 10 seconds and counting. So until that thing goes over 1 hour, I try to stay on topic. We have little side conversations here and there, but yes. Um, Jeremy says yes, Victor. I don't like poking holes in birds. Yep. Jeremy says brine and rub is the only way for me. Me too. Jimmy says the hardest I ever worked was the first year you talked me into cooking turkeys. Bruh. Let me tell you. Let me tell you. That's nothing. Wait till you get a couple 100-person event, Jimmy. Then you're going to be like, what was I thinking? What was I thinking? Seriously. And it doesn't get any easier. Because usually, you get bigger events. Hey, listen, we're 39 minutes in. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd greatly appreciate it. Oh, my belt was digging into my stomach. Please and thank you. I don't know why tonight's not a good night. There's not many folks here. But if you could, please, 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 hit that thumbs up button for me. I'd appreciate it. Bumpy says I worry also. But that's the passion we have for our food. Yes, indeed. Bumpy says phone calls are triggering. Quentin says, oh, wings. Then I did wings on the egg. I sold my air fryer the next day. I honestly didn't think grilled wings would be better than a fryer, but I was wrong. Maybe you were frying them wrong, Quentin, because I don't know. Smoked wings are, they're a bit different. taste test number 2. Trying to get me to sign something. Oh. Victor says my most memorable cook was when I smoked 6 salmon fillets for my grandfather's World War II battle group. It was a big hit. My grandfather was very happy and proud. Fantastic memories. Nice. Steven says, brining a turkey for 25 years. Heck, you must be brining them in brandy. Sure enough. Something aged. Oh, Grumpy said, I'll never forget the time I grilled beef kidneys for my dogs. Smelled like a horse pissed in my grill for weeks. Dogs wouldn't even come close to them. What? I mean, did you get those kidneys for free? Please tell me you didn't pay for those, Grumpus. Do you sauce the wings or just dry rub them? I sauce my wings. Oh, God. Talk about a piece of contention. So, this is how I do my wings, Dave. So, I smoke them naked. Well, I smoke the wings naked in the smoker for an hour or 2. Then I put sauce on the naked side. I flip the wings, put sauce on the naked underside, smoke the wings again. Well, smoke them until done. So, yes. So I put sauce on them while they are cooking. I am also cooking at probably a lower temperature, but the wings smoking with the sauce on them gives the sauce a different flavor. It kicks up the sauce, in my opinion. Bumpy says, "Ooh, when is the meat at the Waffle House? Don't answer this until the second hour." Jeremy says, "I found the smoked wings, cool them down, and then throw them in the air fryer." I like twice cooked wings. I did. That was one of the things I had a neighbor who asked me about when I first started doing wings. He asked me about cooking wings for him, and I'm like, man, I don't cook wings. I really know how to do it. So I cooked them, and I cooked half of them, and I think I did maybe like a dozen wings. So I cooked half of them and kept them on the smoker, and then the other half of them I actually smoked them for a while and then fried them. The ones that you smoke and then fry definitely come out way better. But I won't say I don't always have time for that. But it's one of those things where if you get, I won't say a bunch of wings, but if you get wings, smoke them and then fry them like to order, that could be pretty good. Jeremy says, but don't over smoke them. Yes, indeed. Lou Calamatis, what's going on? He says, what's up, Dash Barbecue fam? What's going on? Lou, how are you this evening? Lou, come on, tell us quickly about a memorable cook, good or bad, and go. Victor says, Jeremy, I do actually use butter and white wine sauce injection in addition to the brine. It means the turkeys are self-basting. I don't touch the birds until they are done. Nice. KB says, good evening, Mr. Dash and y'all. Grandma says, yes, I paid for them. Seemed like a good idea at the time. There's your first mistake. When you utter that phrase, well, it seemed like a good idea at the time. Immediate disaster. Immediate disaster. Can't remember if my buddy Jim Beam helped me with that one, with that cook. Quentin says, I don't think smoke them. I more so grill them. Temp is about 325, 350. No defector plate. Turn them every 5 to 10 minutes until they are nice and crispy looking, then toss in sauce. So, Quentin, what I have been doing lately with my wings is, again, me and the Traeger man been getting down lately. And I put the wings out on the Traeger, and I will smoke the wings on the Traeger at 250 degrees, 225, 250 for like an hour. Then I'll bump the temperature up to 300 degrees for about a half hour. Then I'll bump the temperature up to 350 for another about 15-20 minutes. And then I will turn the heat all the way up. And when I say those wings end up turning up like air fried wings, they are fantastic because of the fact, well, they turn up like fried wings. I won't say air fried because fried wings and air fried is two different things. These turn up more like fried wings. They've got just enough crisp to them. They got just enough wood flavor and smoke flavor to them. They are fantastic. It quickly become one of my favorite wings, if not my favorite wing to prepare wings, other than actually frying them, deep frying them. Blind Man said that's cool. I'll have to give that a try. Grumpy says, when's your next video? Bumpy said, I season my wings, smoke them, then toss them in my sauce. I put my sauce up against anyone. Uh, it's funny, Bumpy, you say that, right? So I'm at the range. This wasn't this Sunday, it was last Sunday. I'm at the range last Sunday. And if you know, I won't say if you know anything, but if you know me, I'm not a slouch. I'm not a slouch. I don't slouch when it comes to barbecue. I don't slouch when it comes to pew pews. I don't slouch when it comes to, drinking. Y'all see, I'm not a slouch, right? So, um, this young guy, was on the range, and he was popping off, right? And he wasn't aiming. He was shooting, but he wasn't aiming. And I said to him, I'm like, yo, my man, let me help you. Let me help you aim. He said, nah, I'm good. I'm good. I got this. I got this. He was with somebody else, right? He was with two other people. The older guy he was with, he's like, man, you should listen to him talking to me. He's like, you should listen to him. He'll help you out. He'll give you some pointers. He's like, nah, I'm good. I can shoot anything. I'm good. I'm good. I said, oh, really? He's like, yeah. He said, what you got? I said, bruh, you don't want none. Nah, man, what you got in your pocket? What you putting up? I said, whatever you pull out of your pocket, I'll cover it. And then I'll put a hole through it from 20 feet. Let's go. He was like, nah, come on, man. What you got? Say a number. Say a number. Nah, bruh. Listen, you in my house, okay? You in my house. Whatever you have in your pocket, I'll cover it. Trust and believe. If you want to go, let's go. I will shoot I'll shoot you under the table. The dude he was with was like, bro, he got wide eyed to the cat that was talking. He was like, bro, you don't want none of that. He said, why do you think he works here? Why do you think he works here? Do you really think he can't shoot if he works here? He was like, no, man, he over there talking, but bro, I can back it up. Trust and believe. Like I said, whatever you pull out your pocket, I got it. I got it covered. Say less. And you know where I work. Nah, man, you ain't gonna try to punk me, this, that, and the other. I'm not trying to punk you. I'm trying to prove a point to you. I'm trying to prove a point to you. I can shoot and aim. You can shoot. I'm like, shooting is pulling the trigger. Aiming is knowing where that round is gonna go. I got that part down. You don't. I know I'm gonna win. That's easy money for me. So you go ahead and stay over there if you want. But trust and believe, I'm not afraid of you or anything you're saying. The dude he was with, he like talked him down off the ledge. Nah, man, he was like, no, you don't want none of that. You just let him be. He's like, man, you better shut up. You will get in trouble. He said, you're gonna lose that money. You gonna lose that money. Lou says, sorry I missed last week. My father-in-law passed away on Thursday. It's been a wild week, dog. Sorry to hear that, Lou. Oh, man. Memorable cook? I have a good one, all right. Jeremy says, nice, Victor. Going to try an injection after I cook the rest next time. Yes, Lou. Steven says, condolences. Best cook was each cook I got paid for. Bumpy. Man, let me just tell you, bruh. And you know what? It's crazy, man. It's crazy sometimes because, all right, so about 2 months ago, maybe a month and a half, 2 months ago, I was in Sam's. And I was in the Sam's near me on Route 40 in Catonsville. And they had prime briskets, and they were marked down 25%. I bought 6 of them. I bought 6 of them. I'm like, well, dang, if I'm gonna buy I bought 6 of them, right? I've been slowly cooking them briskets every time somebody need a brisket, or I need 5 pounds, I need 3 pounds, I need this amount, I need that amount. Slowly been cooking them. Now mind you, I take these briskets and I got them that day, put them right into the freezer. Anytime I needed one, pulled it out the night before, um, and cooked it that morning, or yeah, that pretty much that morning, or pulled it out that morning to cook that night. When I say not my bank account, but my PayPal account runneth over, dude. I think I paid no. I think the biggest brisket I got was 16 pounds, and it cost me $42. It won't take much digging for you to understand or find out how much I'm charging for briskets right now. That was a win. I more than tripled my profit on that one. So yes, definitely. No, you know what, Bumpy? I'm gonna say the best cook was the one I got paid for, and I was able to get the meat at a discount. Now I don't buy discount meat. Like I don't get the um the manager special meat at Restaurant Depot, because sometimes you never know how long it's been sitting there. But at Sam's, man, the cryovac is intact and the date is and it's marked down. Yes, because Sam's will mark down stuff way sooner than they will at the Restaurant Depot. That was a Sim Pilot. He says, "Hey Dash, what's good? How you doing this evening? Hey, if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. What is going on? Is that really 7 likes? Like, can we? What? I mean, dang. Uh, Grandpa says I need to get some. I get my horsing gear and get back at it. I don't have a reason, only excuses. Quentin says, interesting. What's interesting, Quentin? I don't. Lou says, my buddy got a house at the beach for the week for his bachelor party in 2015. I wasn't staying the whole week, so I said, I'm not paying for the whole week. So I said, I'll bring my Weber Smoky Mountain to make food. All right. Jeremy says, worst cook was my first big cook of chicken breasts, like 80 pounds of them. I tried to cook them on just 2 Webers, LOL, and they were running hot. So, needless to say, they burnt. uh, Jeremy said, that was quite some time ago, LOL. Mm. That's what you're saying interesting about. Glenn says, why would you challenge someone who works at a place? WTF. Jeremy says, aim small, miss small. It was a guy that had that shirt on. I had a shirt that said that on in there. I'll say yesterday. Shoot, today is Wednesday. On Sunday, Lou said brisket, ribs, etc. We argued back and forth. I wasn't paying all that money, so it was about 15 of us. I made a Walmart brisket injected with beef broth and simple seasoning. Nice. Jeremy says if you use wine, make sure you use white, not red. Red will look very bloody, not good. Unless it's Halloween and you really want to get in the spirit. Bumpy says my condolences, Lou. Victor says, Lou, sorry to hear the news. Blind man says, he says, sorry for your loss. We'll allow it. Lou says, it was hands down the best barbecue I ever made. I don't know what it was. 15 drunk guys in one house, maybe. Yes, indeed. Neil says, good night, my friends. I'll catch you on next week. Thank you, Neil. And be safe, all right? Jeremy says, LOL, Victor, I was thinking maybe a Cajun butter for the first one, something easy. Quentin says, save one of those briskets for the challenge. Oh, they're gone, man. They gone. I'm going to have to go get another one. Hopefully I can find another one. But you know what's not crazy? I'm cool with the lady who is the meat manager there in Catonsville. I might have to like send her a text message or hit her up and say, hey, Please let me know anytime you have briskets on special. I will come and buy them all. Or if you want to mark some down for me, I will come and buy them all. Lou says, thanks guys for the condolences. Much appreciated. Yes. Look, Lou says, my friend comes to me and says, Lou, I get it. Yes. Yep. This is why. Yep. Look, Dave says, sale prices are awesome for profits. Yes, indeed. Jeremy says, wine sauce is a different animal, especially as an injection. I like to burn off the wine like a flambe. All right. Sean, what up? What up with you, man? How you doing? Hopefully you are off the, was it track meets you were doing, or is it baseball? What was it you had on Wednesday nights? Delta Sim Pilot said I'm good, just doing flight simming and making new Indian food for catering. That's what's up. Yeah. Listen, Steven said 12 thumbs up now. Hey, thank you, Steven, for the reminder. If you have not, please hit that thumbs up. We are on the low tonight. I mean, 15 folks, 16 folks watching, and 14 thumbs up. We are, whew. This is, I'll say bottom of the barrel, but man, I know I didn't put out the notification until late. But I mean, I thought we would have some interesting conversation talking about some memorable cooks. Victor says, Jeremy, that would be a great cook. Here's a fun trick. Inject one sauce on one side, something else on the other. A great way to explore different ways if you are smoking turkey for others. Nice. Victor is a great way to impress your friends and customers. Yes, indeed. Jeremy says, nice. Can experiment with two flavors of one cook, or like you said, can be an option for customers. Yes, indeed. Soccer. Awesome. Awesome. I think I told you guys I have a cousin who plays professional soccer in Poland on a women's team. And she just posted on Facebook the other day that her contract was renewed for the next season. So we're pretty proud of her. And they did well in their, I think they do like a World Cup-esque type tournament. Her team did well. I don't speak Polish, so I don't know exactly what they did or how they did, but I think they did pretty well in the tournament. Grumpus says, yeah, but the cool kids are here. Yes, indeed. You sure are, Grumpus. Bomby says, best honestly was past Mother's Day. 200 pieces of chicken, chopped chicken, 5 racks, whole pan sides, on-site cooked, burgers, hot dog, sausage, salmon, and gained 2 customers. That's what's up. Victor says, hey, I got my thumbs up before we got started. Yes, well, thank you, man. Definitely appreciate that. I don't know how else to say thank you guys. I really do appreciate you guys who are, I don't say here day in, day out, week in and week out, for this what this has become. KB says my most memorable cook was a couple decades ago. Do you really remember it if it was decades ago? My old roommate did a turkey for the first time in a cheap offset smoker using mesquite lump and poor fire management. He says, holy potent smoke flavor. Jeremy says, that's banging mumpy. Yes, indeed. I'm telling you, man, those big cooks, they boost your confidence like nothing else. Nothing else. But now here's all right. So we talked about all of the positive cooks. Let's talk about a time where you didn't get it right, or somebody gave you some bad. I won't say bad feedback, but negative feedback. You're like, oh, that was nasty. I didn't like it. Whatever the case may be. So we talked about a lot of good cooks and lots of decent cooks. Let's say that. But what about a bad cook? A memorable bad cook. And I talked about that bad cook I had where I had that stall because of the apple juice I put on that pork shoulder. That is always one of my go-to bad cooks. You guys also saw the that video from a year or so ago, when barbecue goes wrong. That definitely, it was a real thing. And I was annoyed. Like, what am I going to do? Victor says my nephew's high school soccer team took first place at state. His best friend and teammate was the highest scoring high school player in all the USA this year. That's what's up. Terry, what up, Terry? I'm telling you, every time Terry come in, I'd be like, back it up, Terry. Come on, Terry, back it up, Terry. Every time that's flashes into my mind. Don't hold it against me though. That's what I use to remember your name. So it's a good thing. Because other than that, I wouldn't remember unless your username is like Victor, where his username is his name. That's the only way I remember Sean's name. I mean, who will remember Sean? Sean, he's not memorable. He don't even comment. He don't even leave thumbs up. He don't even make videos anymore. He did do his taxes though. He did do his taxes, but he doesn't even insert. Sean doesn't even insert. Sean doesn't even down below. Victor says, and yes, he's been given a full ride scholarship to some universities back east. So cool, nice. Terry said, I got a new tent for doing comps that doesn't go on the ground. Okay. Jeremy said, I had a woman say there was blood in the thighs I could, because the meat was pink from the smoke ring. LMAO. She was so mad because she didn't believe me or other 50 people that were there. Sister Toy, what up? Sister Toy says, every meal is a gamble. Will it be good or bad? LOL. Although tonight was a success. Toy, are you off gallivanting around the world or are you home? I know my boy definitely be cooking for you. So tell Matajigo I said what's up. Tell him I said what's up. And you know what? I want to thank you for allowing him to stand up for me with me 19 years ago, late last month. So, Quentin says we still on track for after an hour and 4 minutes. Yeah. Just, it's just not gonna let me. Yeah. Not gonna let me be great. Pediatrics is spelled P-E-D. P-I-E. That's pediatrics.
Oh.
I don't care. Hold on 1 second. It's funny. You say you're on a team that travels down south. You know you are down south.
Yeah, farther down south.
Holy cow. You gotta write more clear.
I thought I was writing quite enough.
Yeah, but you gotta remember that someone else is reading this and they don't necessarily know you or or your writing. So try to make it so that just make your E's more pronounced, especially in your name. I'm always here and watching. Don't always comment though. We're home. All right. What else? What's up? All cooks are good if you learn something. Yes, Jeremy. You know what? That is imperative. I used to have a manager, and he used to say, "Fail, learn, grow." Definitely, fail, learn, grow. And it was one of those things that I didn't get it at the time. When he said it, like I make a mistake, and he's like, that's a good thing. He's like, let's figure out, how to. He was as annoying as he was a good manager. But hindsight being 2020, when he was my manager, I'm like, yo, man, oh. So he lived in Wisconsin. All right. So guy's name was Ed, and Ed lived in Wisconsin. And he used to come on site once a month, and it was usually like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He was on site, and every time he was on site, man, it was like, oh And I dreaded him being there. But it was good. When he was there, he wasn't calling me. Because when he was at home, all he would do was call me. And he'd be like, hey, quick one for ya. What's up, Ed? Hey, and that's how he talked. Hey, quick one for ya. Or he would call. He would say, hey, two things. First thing. Oh yeah, and then so that was when he got you. If he left a voicemail for you, it went like this. Hey, this is Ed. Insert last name. Give me a call, would you? Ed, can you just tell me what it is you need, and then I will go ahead and take care of it before I have to call you back to find out what it is you need, so I don't have to talk to you. So when I call you, I say, hey, I took care of that thing you asked me about. But no, not him. He'd be like, hey, this is Ed. Insert last name. Ed, I know who you are. You don't have to tell me your last name every single time you leave me a message. Like, you don't have to do that. Hey, and we still laugh about, like, Ed, not the situation. To this day, my coworkers and I, 10 years later, hey, quick one for you. Or, hey, two things. Bumpy says my funniest cook was night after partying. Me and my friends decided to light the grill. Drunk and cooked burgers and sausage. We kept the party going. That was a good night. Pre-marriage chronicles. Shoot, man. I started to get a partial credit for adding pie to a word. Yeah. Go Pack Go. Ed is a great man. Now he's from Chicago, so he was a Bears fan. But he lived in Wisconsin. Spencer said my most memorable cook was early on when I set my cabinet smoker on fire. Yo, ooh, talk about a oof and fires. Yo, one one of the first cooks I did on Bernadette. I was kind of like I had some things on the smoker, and then I finished cooking the things I had on the smoker on Bernadette. And I left out. I went out, and I was going to hang out with my friends. And my wife called me, and she says, "Hey, are you still cooking?" And I'm like, "No, actually, I just pulled out the driveway. I'm headed to go to my friends. We hung out at Dunkin' Donuts. I'm like, yeah, I'm headed to Dunkin' Donuts to hang out with the Volkswagen guys." And she's like, "Oh, because it smells like burnt grease." I'm like, "What?" She's like, "Yeah, it smells like burnt grease." I'm like, "Oh, okay. All right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna turn around and come back home." I turn around and come back home, and when I say Bernadette was in flames, there were flames. I had a grease fire. There was a grease fire that developed in the bottom of the cooker, where the water pan was. All of the water that was in there evaporated, and all that was left was grease, and grease was on fire. So it was like I didn't realize it was fire. Like I came to the garage and I saw smoke coming out, and burn it down. I'm like, damn. I opened up the door. And woof, closed that door real quick. Closed the intake. Closed the exhaust. Kept the door closed. And when I say it was some nasty thick white smoke that came out of that thing, I was like, oh boy, oh boy. And then I also had a fire at a customer's house. I was cooking chicken wings, and after cooking these chicken wings, all of the grease puddled and pooled on one side of the grill. And, grease fire. Yep, another grease fire. And, like, I had to remain calm and collected as I asked the daughter of the host to bring me some water. I'm like, can I get like a bowl of water, like a big pitcher of water or something like that? The flames getting a little high. I need to go ahead and spread some water. So to this day, I always take water with me whenever I go. And I have the spray bottle that I use almost as a fire extinguisher whenever I travel on site. Quinn says, "Oh, Ed is a terrible person." Mike says, "You ever made smoked beef cheeks?" I have made beef cheeks. They were so the cheeks were good, but there's a lot of tendons in those cheeks, and it was one of those things where like you have to like trim the cheeks. I'm gonna say accordingly, but when you trim them, you get like nuggets or chunks. Like it was beef cheek chunks, so it wasn't the easiest thing. Um, Grumpy says, then there was the time I was 4 hours into a pork rib cook for dinner with my neighbors. I went in the house to get ready, and unknown to me, my wife tossed a couple smoked sausages on with my ribs. Oh boy. Those sausages popped and set the whole mess on fire. Burnt my ribs to charcoal before I went to check on them 30 minutes before dinner was to be served. I treated barbecue out that night. Smoky. I guess Sean would bear down. Bumpy says worst cook was when I had to cook 60 party wings on a Weber. Took way too long on some were a little undone. That's when I came up with the no bone for on site cooks. That was my first on site cook. Yeah, man. That fire with the wings was an on site cook blunder. Yeah, but I want to say I'm gonna try to adopt that no bones for on site cooks. But yeah, Victor says, and that's why we like to have locks on our cookers. Grumpus, I love my insulated vertical smoker. Spencer said that was pretty much what happened to me. I had a cheap, thin Home Depot cabinet smoker, was cooking chicken, and was just about done, and had gone back upstairs to get the food off. Yep. Bumpy said I have a small fire extinguisher. Nice. I remember that. Yes. Sean said I remember that video where you left the chicken in the warmer. I know that sucked. Oh my gosh. There are some things that are burned into your memory, and the smell of that chicken, once I realized that I left that chicken in the Cambro overnight, that is a smell I will not too soon forget. And thanks, Sean, for the reminder. Spencer says came back outside and there was a fire. Lord Jesus, it was a fire coming from all the doors, all the seams of the smoker everywhere. Tried to grab the hose, it had a hole in it. Tried the bucket, it had a hole. My father still laughs at me about it, and it's been over 10 years. Bruh, you know what? I want to say you ain't lived until you've had a good grease fire on a grill. You haven't, because it teaches you calm. Like, ain't no way, you have to remain calm when something like that happens, because if you start freaking out, you going down. All right. Bumpy asked when we were going to the Waffle House. I want to say I'm overdue for a Waffle House trip. Bumpy says, I mean, if it's a T-bone or a pork chop, I will cook it, but mainly chicken parts or ribs, I won't do on site. Yeah. I said, look, you know, it's crazy. You try to be nice. And I was like, oh, you know, I'm standing here, the grill's going. Why not? Yeah, sure, I'll cook it. That's how you get yourself in trouble. Jack says now you know what all my cooks end up like. Jack, I don't believe you. Spencer said, Waffle House, how far south are you going? And are you going for the food or for the fight? I'm going for the food. Oh, yeah. Victor says, Dash, of the memorable cooks you have shown, I think about the infamous rotisserie incident. Bumpy says, F being nice. Yeah. So if you are unfamiliar and don't know what Victor is talking about when it comes to the rotisserie incident, my goodness. Steven, if you are here, can you please find that video for me so I don't have to do it? That was the video where I had just gotten the 5-foot grill table, and I used the 5-foot grill table alongside of a rented piece of equipment. I rented a rotisserie for this event. Oh, yo, Victor, you know what's crazy? The guy who I did that event for, right? It was a husband and wife. The husband was a coworker of mine. The wife, obviously his wife, it was a celebration of life. They did the celebration of life party every year because she had like a double lung slash heart transplant at the same time. And they celebrate her life, the fact that she still has life, every year or every few years. So, but I say all of that to say he just passed away um, within the last 2 weeks, maybe. And my manager reached out to me the other day and he says, "Hey, you remember, Mike?" And I was like, "Yeah." I said, "I did that huge party for him." And unfortunately, he passed away. I'm like, "No, dang." So definitely, um, yeah. Uh, but it was cool, that event was for him. So rest in peace, Mike. Chicken on site unless you're setting up overnight. That just sounds like a bad time. Well, grilled chicken, not smoked chicken, grilled chicken. Hojo said my father-in-law was doing a fish fry, grease ignited, and flames were shot 2 or 3 stories in the air. Woo, man. I'd have had 2 or 3 stories after that too. Man. Hojo said I tossed a sheet pan on top, cut off the oxygen, and the fire stopped. He almost burnt the house down. Mm. This is why I love and hate you guys all at the same time. Because you remember every single video that I have forgotten, long since forgotten, long since forgotten. Grumpus says, "Who can forget the look of disappointment on Dash's face after the pig in a blanket incident?" I want to take my hat off and hold it to my chest and play taps, hold my head down. Actually, I know I have taps downloaded. I feel like I can play it without getting copyrighted or anything. Let's see here. Downloads. Taps. Come on. Search. Where you go? So now I'm gonna have to search on the NAS and have to wake up the hard drives on the NAS. For those who haven't seen this rotisserie video, Dash recovered really well. Sad news about the customer. May he rest in peace. Yes. Quentin says, "Actually, I might have something better for us to try, Dash. The best barbecue in the DMV. Let me send you this if I can find it on Instagram. If it's what is the name of that place? It's in Hyattsville or something like that. The place is pretty good. My man said that's crazy. I don't just remember. This is my favorite video. Grumpus says, "Well, thanks, Grumpus." I don't just remember. He's like, "Not only am I a customer," he's like, "Not only am I the CEO, I'm a client." Angela says, "Hey, cousins." What up? Bumpy says, "For on-site cooks, do you charge a different price if you use the customer grill compared to bring your own?" I bring my own every time, um, even as a backup. So I'm bringing my own, even if I'm cooking on theirs. Um, Yeah, I'm bringing my own even if I'm cooking on theirs. Hold on 1 second. 8. Number 1. Can you set that alarm to stay and not away, please? I think you set it to away. When I opened up the door, the alarm immediately went off this morning at 4:30 a.m. So set it to away, not stay. There's a difference. Oh, I'm sorry. Set it to stay and not away. Because what happens is when it's on stay, it gives you a couple seconds to turn the alarm off. That did not happen again at 4:30 this morning. All right, let's see. Video, camera files, edited files, launcher, tabs. There it is. All right. Moment of silence. For the pig in the blanket that was lost. Also, for every piece of chicken, every rib, every sausage link, every hot dog, every hamburger that we've lost to the fire. Shout out to the Devil's Cut. All right. Okay. I don't know how we're going to go on. Spencer says best DMV barbecue. What spots are on set list? Title video. Found it. The place is called Randy. No. Randy's Ribs and Barbecue. I do not believe that is it. No, that's not it. The place that does actually have good barbecue. Oh, it's called 5 and 10 or 210 or something. It's a number. And that actually is pretty good barbecue. Other than that, I'm always using my equipment. 250. Thank you, Spencer. 250 is the place Dash is talking about. They are legit, yes indeed. That is the only place I would go in this area to eat probably, unless it's a really nice offset. Yes, actually, I take the old charcoal with me, or dispose of it for them. Yep, offset. Mini PG, mini pigs in a blanket. Cooked on my biggest smoker. Thanks, Grumpus. If you have not seen that video, it is worth a watch. It is by far one of my favorite videos because it was, I filmed that video in jest and it did not turn out the way that I wanted it to. Victor says, Grumpus, that was a good memory off that little smoky. I raised you one look on Dash's face when Mrs. Dash said, did you give me the piece of meat with the string in it? Again, I love and hate you guys. I really do. Angela said, this is true. Even he brought his own smoker to my house when he cooked. Yeah. Angela. Bumby said, what's up, Angela? Blind Man Cooking, I'm sorry. Says, what's up, Angela? That's Dave, in case you didn't know. Quentin says, I'm pulling up to his house with my own smoker as well. We could have the same grill, but I need to use mine because it's just different. Yeah, you go ahead and bring your smoker to my house. That smoker weighs more than you do. That your big green egg weighs more than you do. Ripped all those veggies that fell through the grates. Yes. It's hilarious that I remember he dropped the pig in the blanket. It was pretty funny because he was looking for. I was so looking forward to it. That was not planned. That was not the plan. I plan to eat that pig, that single pig in the blanket, and enjoy the hell out of it. And I dropped it. That was not part of the plan. Bumby says when I get my own trailer, that's something I will consider. Bringing my grill each time, but for now, I charge two different prices. Man, forget that. Charge one price and have your grills to back up. Because there's nothing worse than going to somebody's house and they like, yeah, you can use my grill. And then you go ahead and open it up and it's all falling apart and rusted through. And then you're like, I can't cook on this. I'm not going to be able to cook on this. You be like, somebody look at this. Somebody come look at this. Spencer says, rip to those wings. I fell asleep and scorched. I was so mad at that. Marlon, wait, who the hell died? And why should I care? Also, yo, Dash. Oh, we were talking about those ribs and those wings and those sausage and those hot dogs and the burgers and whatever else you've lost to the fire because Grumpus brought up that memory of when I dropped that pig in the blanket and I just we had to play taps and have a moment of silence for all of those things that have been lost to the fires over the years. You know, they call those the devil's cuts. That's all. I call it the devil's cuts. Hojo says Chaps pit beef. Chaps is not barbecue. That is grilling. Bumpy says 250 barbecue. Yes, that place is legit. I have been there a couple times. But have you had Randy's? It was mentioned in the best of DMV foodie group. It's an adventure. I'm telling you, if it, I'm not sure. I had some place. Is it in Bowie? Because if it is in Bowie, it is garbage. Garbage. Like hot garbage. Garbage. Like Chinese food store level garbage. Bosh. Quentin is damn near an hour and a half in, and we still ain't mentioned the Tesla or charging yet. This might be a record night, folks. You know what's so funny, Quentin? We are redoing a bathroom, and in redoing said bathroom, we have gotten tile. My car was loaded down. The ID4 was loaded down. When I say loaded down, I had the Carolina squat going on in the ID4, and I had the tile in the back of the ID4 for a day and a half. I charged the car this morning. 80%. I drove around, did what I had to do, all that tile in the car, and then I actually took out the tile in the car, only to drive to go get more tile because we decided we're going to put more tile in the bathroom. That being said, I'm down to like 20 some odd percent in the car, and I was like, maybe we'll go on a field trip and I'll go charge the car while talking to you guys. So maybe that'll happen. I don't know. Quince is damn near. Oh wait, Randy's is in Hyattsville, Hughesville. I don't even know where that is. Bumpy says, okay, everyone, 3 a.m. comes fast. I'll be rewatching. All right, well, nice. Angela said, Randy's is right by my house, Quentin. All right, well, is it good? Do people be going there? She is a vegetarian. She does not eat there. Her opinion is not valid. She's gotten it for visitors, and they say they like it. Where are these visitors from, Angela? Because, you know, sometimes your visitors don't be knowing. They got the Impossible Burger, probably. Yep, they have the Impossible Burger cooked right on the same grates that the regular burgers are cooked on. I'm telling you, Quentin, I won't say if anything, definitely 250 barbecue is where I would say, all right, yo, we could take a trip down there. I wouldn't mind that. But oh, sure. See, Quentin, I don't know. I'm gonna say I'm over it. But we'll have to check it out. But it's a hole in the wall type joint. All right. That's why I don't know where Hughesville is. Angela said they have some pretty good fish. All right. You know, fish is my favorite dish. Fish is popping, like literally. It's fried, or no, maybe it's smoked, maybe or grilled. Mm. So I'm trying to taste a hint of sweetness. Real honey liquor infused with Kentucky straight bourbon whiskey. I swear, I like the Jack Daniels more than I like the Jim Beam. Angela be burning the hell out of cabbage. You know what's funny you say that? I think when I was at Angela's house right after you had your daughter, I think I was it cabbage I made for you? I made something and she tore it up. And I'm like, yo, I did not come to your house to cook for you. Like, you lucky. I like you. Martin's soul food and barbecue is delicious too. Yeah. Yeah. Quentin. That's why I haven't seen Angela in a long time. She's like 2 hours away. Victor says, hate to do it, but morning will be here way too soon. I'm off the bed. FYI, the foot appears to be coming along well enough. Maybe able to go fishing in a couple weeks. Nice. Come on, foot. Come on, foot. Good night, Victor. Spencer says, I went with my brother to 250 last week or so. He got the Wagyu brisket and was haunted. He talked about it so much he left more to he left work to order more. Yeah. Josh and Babe. What up, Josh? Dash, random question. 1-to-1 box of single pulled pork sandwich, some beans, a scoop of potato salad, single man meal to go. What is the general cost per person? That's hard because you have to price your food based off of how much it costs you. So you have to break down each one of those components and figure out what the cost is. And I can't just say, oh, it's going to be $19. That doesn't work that way. You actually have to pull out a pen, some paper, a calculator, and figure out how much that pulled pork is going to cost you. Figure out how much, not only how much is that pulled pork going to cost you, but how big that portion is going to be. Is it going to be 4 ounces, 6 ounces, 8 ounces, 10 ounces? So you have to figure out how much you're going to put onto that bun. Usually 6 to 8 ounces is going to be your portion. That bun, you can do a slider bun. If you do a slider bun, you got to factor in the cost of that bun. But if you do a slider bun, the slider bun, you'll put less meat on, which will help stretch your meat. But if you put it on a burger bun or a Kaiser bun or a bigger bun, then those stretched meat are, that ability to stretch the meat is going to go by the wayside. So you have your cost for your pulled pork, your cost for your buns. You said potato salad, the cost for the potato salad. Again, how big of a portion? You can get pre-weighed or predetermined. They're like ice cream scoops. That'll be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10 ounces, and you can use those to scoop up that potato salad and get a consistent scoop every time. You can use those to scoop up that pulled pork and get a consistent scoop every time. When I do the event, the fall festival at my daughter's former school, I used 6-ounce scoopers, and I get the people who are making the sandwiches dip the 6-ounce scooper, put a scoop on a bun. Next person closes the bun, wraps it up, labels it. I put those buns into the oven to get warm, or to stay warm, to keep warm, so that when I have my chicken and I have my pork, I know exactly what it is and how many portions I have, and yada yada yada. So then you also said scoop of potato salad, single man meal to go. So alongside that potato salad, I would say maybe some coleslaw or macaroni salad. I know it's going to increase your cost. You all right over there? Where? That's with them in the bathroom. That's with them in the bathroom. No, it just went off on the microwave. That's the microwave because that's all plugged in on that one plug. It's not the whole side. It's just the microwave. The plug is inside the bathroom. What are you cooking in the microwave? Can you cook them on the stove? Guys, can you give me a moment? I gotta help taste tester number one with some electrical issues. No. Wait, yeah? Yeah, it's on. All right, guys. Sorry about that. I told you that I'm getting the bathroom redone. When they took out the wall in the bathroom, or the walls in the bathroom, the electrical in the kitchen, because it's on the back side of the kitchen, was exposed, and I guess one of the wires was jostled, and the microwave lost power. All right, Night Victor, the cabbage steaks is hippie, but they're saying cabbage. Steven says, Josh and Bethany, hello. Yes. Ain't no hippie, it's delicious. Sure. That's what's the markup per person based on my cost. How do I figure out cost per person per plate? The rule of thumb, the general rule of thumb is you multiply it by 3. Whatever your costs are, you take those costs, add them up, multiply it by 3, and then either round up or round down to kind of account for what your market will bear. If you say, okay, pulled pork cost me $1 per pound, and I actually have a video on this, but the rule is typically 3 times whatever your costs are. So you figure out what your costs are and you triple it. But you have to remember when you're cooking pulled pork, pork shoulder in general. So let's say you start with a 10-pound pork shoulder, you're paying for 10 pounds of pork shoulder. But by the time it's all said and done, after you are finished cooking, you only have about 50% that you can cook. So you typically need to double your food costs for the pork shoulder because it's not a one-to-one purchase price, sales price, or purchase weight to sales weight. You have a net to a yield, and that yield is what you need to base your pricing off of. So let's say it costs you $10 in pulled pork, right? So, or $1 per pound, and you have 10 pounds of pulled pork. All right, by the time it's all said and done, you can actually only sell 5 pounds of pulled pork. So now the cost isn't $1 per pound as a base; it's $2 per pound as a base because you lost 50%, which means you have to account for that. And then at that 50% loss, your cost is, or the base cost is $2. So now you say, okay, I'm going to charge $6 per pound. Okay, again, these are easy numbers, easy math. you'll have to figure out the correct math for you and your situation. Now, with that being said, you're like $6 per pound. Will people pay $6 per pound? If it's a resounding yes, then you say, all right, well, let me get $8 per pound. Let me get $10 per pound. Okay. And you keep bumping it up until you hit your limit, your threshold, because what ends up happening is the more you can put in as far as the cost on that meat, the more you'll be able to take care of the things you don't think about. Some of the seasonings, the aluminum foil, the gloves, the your time back and forth, the spatulas, the tongs, and other utensils that you have to get and buy, the containers that this food goes into. Those are things that you don't necessarily think about, that those costs add up. Just because I'm vegetarian doesn't mean that a crowd of people isn't always there. Yeah. Angela, our request is, and from where you are, how long does it take you to get into DC driving? I'll probably say half an hour. Angela said, my visit to your family, aunts, great aunts, cousins, etc., and my friends from out of town. Okay, and the cost of containers, plasticware, napkins, bags. Eastville is technically where I am. Oh, technically. I get to the baseball stadium in about 45 minutes to an hour. Wow. Grandpa says, hold my beer. Yeah. I was looking at some places near Lower Marlboro. There is no Lower Marlboro. Is there? There's Upper Marlboro. I didn't know there was a Lower Marlboro. Hard to get a sense of reality how far away and long it will take to get to DC. So, Quinn, it's the same thing. Remember we were talking about you were looking at times on the map for like best time or like no traffic? Double that when it comes to traveling during traffic. Unless you are every single day getting in and out before traffic, there's no way you can't at least double. If something's going to take an hour, it's going to take you an hour and a half. If it says 45 minutes to an hour, you're looking at an hour to an hour and a half. Like, no cap. No cap. Josh Babe said, what's the markup per person based on my cost? How do I figure out per person per plate? So I think hopefully I talked about it or I gave you enough information. Johnny, he says, yo, what's up, Dash? How you doing, Johnny? He says, hello, everyone. Josh, oh, man, I am late. He says, nope. Yeah, right, Upper Marlboro. Yeah, I never knew there was a Lower Marlboro. It's east of where you are, right up on the river. Jeremy says you can sell weight. Yep. There's some stuff. Thanks, Dash. PS, I found Crocs head and headlights today. Coming soon. No. Look it up. It's in Owings, Maryland. Dunkirk, you mean Charles County? Then straight shot down Route 4 into civilization, but still. Heck, this traffic is gonna kill me. Yep. Welcome to DC. Coming in to say hi. Off the bed, work tomorrow. No yawns. Nope. I haven't yawned. Nope, not at all. Look, and I've been drinking. Dunkirk and Owings is Calvert County, not Charles County. Jeremy said, what is that badass grocery store in Upper Marlboro? Went to it. You can remember the name. It had the best food court. In Upper Marlboro? Maybe that's the Amish market. That's probably... Dash does have a Twitter. I don't use said Twitter. If anything, you can hit me on Instagram. Josh said he cooked a prime tri-tip and a rack of baby backs this weekend. Turned out delicious. Quinn says Whole Foods. Yeah, you better be kidding. I'm kidding. Yes. I really think it might be the farmer's market. Or I hope it's the farmer's market. The Amish market, rather. I keep saying farmer's market. The Amish market. Where is my knife? Laura, hopefully you are doing well. And Laura, I'm going to need you to put the fire out, please. The roof is on fire, we know, but we do need to put it out because the rest of the world is getting smoked out right now. Spencer said Whole Foods is either Annapolis or Hyattsville. The only thing close to Upper Marlboro is Wegmans. The food court at Wegmans is pretty official. They have a food bar at Wegmans. We would go to the food bar at Wegmans in Columbia. Morrow, Columbia? Columbia. And like I said, it's pretty official. That was pre-COVID though. It has not been the same, or hasn't been the same last time we went. Josh said Dash just bought dino bones at Costco, but they cut each bone separately. Thoughts on how to cook it? Just like a rack of plate ribs, or different ways since they're singles. No, so when I do my beef ribs, I actually prefer to cut them into a double bone, and the reason is because I can season them better. So just take those individual bones that you have, season the hell out of all of them, and smoke them. Now, when it comes to if you are wrapping them, I would wrap them up together or put them in one single pan. But excuse me, as far as cooking them, I'm just going to kind of cook them and keep an eye on each one of them individually. Use an instant read thermometer to check each one to see which one hits whatever temperature first, or doneness feel first. Jeremy says if I had a buffet in it, food from around the world was there. It had a buffet in it, food from around the world. That sounds like Wegmans. Quentin says Wegmans food court is legit. Yes, Quentin, you are not too far away from the Wegmans in Owings Mills, and yes, indeed, that food court is in fact legit. It's legitness. Legitness. It is definitely nice. Really, really nice. I wonder why they did that. When you look at tools and try to figure out why they did what they did. Hold on. Which Costco has dino bones? Spencer, he is in California, so nowhere near us. Angela said, "Yeah, now they call that Lanham. It was Largo when I was growing up. Is Wegmans. What's Lanham? Oh, I know that. No, what Wegmans in Lanham? Over by the IRS? I'm about to say I can't think of another Wegmans in Lanham. As I used to work in Lanham. Josh said, I think you need a Discord for everyone to post some pictures of their cooks, smokers, etc. Live open dash show in 2 weeks after I remind Dash. Is it? Ooh, that sounds like fun. The Discord thing. Josh says Wegmans is the only place around me that I can find pork belly regularly. Quint says I've been to that Wegmans almost every day for lunch. Yep. People kept trying to say it was a Publix. Nope. We don't have Publix this far north. Josh's Dash bought a whole mega pork loin at Costco, 9 pounds, $12 total. What do I do with this thing? I am not the one to ask about or to inquire about pork loins. Every time I've cooked a pork loin, my family is like, ew, this is nasty. It's so dry. I'm like, yo, it's cooked under the FDA recommended temperature. The problem is my family does not like nor appreciate white meat. And that pork loin is white meat. So you can do a couple things with it though. Josh, you can make Canadian bacon. I know that is something I've seen a few people do. You could do, somebody who, if you have never done it, someone who I would watch to do it is Craig over at Beers. Is it Beers Jack and Barbecue? Jack Beers and Barbecue. The name of their channel is escaping me, but Craig and Jack, they have done Canadian bacon with a pork loin, and it turned out pretty good. This is a Largo. That was all Landover back in the day, but I'm old. Yeah, I kind of think more Landover too, but maybe not. The lasagna soup things out of this world. All right, everything went weird. the first open FedEx field. They called it Rail John. Jimmy says mall and being consumed by adult beverage at the beach. Oh, I'm being consumed in 2 weeks. You're right. That side of the street was Landover, but the other side of the street was Largo because that's where BT Sound Stage was. Quentin says Publix wish it was Wegmans. I don't know, man. Taste tester number 1. Publix or Wegmans? I don't think he's been to Wegmans enough to I'm gonna say know the difference.
No, I don't think so. Or I don't think I have.
No, it depends. Like there's 6 in one hand, half a dozen in the other. Like Publix for certain things, Wegmans for other things. Such as, oh snap, I forgot about the Sound Stage / Jaspers, whatever they are calling it now. Yo, Jaspers was the spot. I haven't been there in, after it. No, I'm not doing a live stream. I don't even know what the hell it's doing. What are you doing?
It's not working.
Quincy's Wegmans is way too big though. If you wanted steak and water, you'd have to walk end to end to get those 2 items. It's a bit ridiculous. You know that's on purpose, right? They don't put the stuff you need together on purpose. They're like, you need eggs and milk. Let's put them on opposite ends of the store. So you have to traverse the whole store because if you or someone you love is like my wife, they can't just go in and get the one thing that they're going in there for. No. Or brings out the whopper. I know, man. I didn't do it though. Mrs. Silver Bart says, what if you wrap the pork loin in foil with a lot of butter? They would still be like, nope. They don't like pork loin. I'm telling you, I can cook the juiciest chicken breast in the world, and they will be like, they will turn their noses straight. Like, I'm the only person that will eat chicken breast in this house. Like, 10 out of 10. Dash, can you tell me how to be a famous YouTuber like you? I'm not famous. Though, you know what's crazy? I saw I don't say a milestone, but I saw some analytics and it said your channel has gotten 5 million views. 5 million views. Just think about that. 5 million views. That's a lot of damn time. I need to see like minutes watched. Jeremy says Wegmans needs a shuttle. Watch the tram car, please. Quentin says you can get way more food at Wegmans than Publix, though. Yeah, so let's the value, then it's gonna be Wegmans. Walking around Wegmans is good training. If you plan to run a marathon the same week, that'd make too much sense. Yeah, feeling it. Wegmans is a nice store, though. Pork loin is weird. Honestly, I'll stick with turkey breast. Wegmans is not that big. Yeah, well, when... you know what? I'm not even going to go hard on Quentin. I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it. Travis! Hey, yo, man, what's up? Quentin says Wegmans is a small mall. Have you been to Buc-ee's? Because if you've never been to Buc-ee's, that is a small mall. Josh said, dang, Dash, 5 mil, that's awesome. I'm only at 2 mil. Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. 5 million. Quentin says, I see old people with them big old white shoes on inside Wegmans just walking. You sound like Watashi. Well, leave Mrs. Dash alone. Am I lying? Wait. Toya, where is the lie? Where's the lie? I'll get on my Gene Goldman or whatever his name was from Charlie and Chocolate Factory. I'll wait. Where's the lie? uh, Jimmy said that means AdSense has paid someone money. I have made a couple dollars on AdSense, but the last 2 years have not been anywhere near as good in AdSense revenue as it had been in years past. Also, in years past when I was cranking out 3 videos a week, yeah, versus now when I haven't put out. I mean, I put out 1 video. Uh, That's 5 million views over the lifetime of my channel. That's not like 5 million views in a month. There's a big difference. My channel has been on YouTube for 10, 12 years now. So yes, very, very, very long time. Oh shoot, Jimmy, I just realized I called you Johnny. That's my fault. Well, there is a Johnny here, or at least he was. Johnny, you still here? Ludacris and Ja Rule taking B to a concert. She wanted it for her birthday. $110 a ticket. Chat, are they played out or is it worth it? We are going. Ludacris and Ja Rule. I would go see Ludacris more so than Ja Rule, and I know you have to have a headliner and opening acts, but I mean Ja Rule, not my thing. Ludacris though, yeah. I was just trying to, I'm gonna say prove to Angela, but just say to Angela that there is a Johnny here as well, because she said hi to Johnny, but she meant to say hi to Jimmy. But I didn't want you to feel slighted, so I wanted to see, excuse me, if you were still here. Jasper's is still the spot. That Quentin says is murder. If you're a Luda fan, if you're a Luda fan, why not? Yeah, definitely. I agree with that. If you're a fan of Ludacris, then go see the concert. I have never seen Ludacris in concert. No, I have not. Angela said Ludacris is definitely worth it. All right, Josh says he thinks it'll be fun. I'm gonna go put something in my cup. I'll be right back. You know, mommy's gonna outlaw cooking late at night, or make it so that if you cook late at night, you have to do your own dishes. You hear me? All right, just letting you know, because she keeps getting sick with it. Every time we try to have dishes in the morning, there's no dishes because someone uses all the dishes late at night. All the pots and pans, and then we can't actually cook it. I'm just telling you, did you drink this juice here? This Sobo, whatever? That does not go in the recycling. It's a carton. That carton does not go in the recycling. If you look on there, it tells you it's mixed whatever. It does not go in the recycling. The only thing on here that can go in the recycling is this top. Look. Not here. They don't recycle this wax stuff. It says recyclable. It is recyclable, but not here. This is the only thing that's recyclable off of this container. And I'm the one always taking it out, putting it in there when I see it. So, just a heads up. Word to the wise. Oh, and I told you about the wrappers. Mommy told you about the wrappers. Alright, I am back. I have my charged lemonade from Panera, and I have a beer. It's another beer I was gifted from the range the other day. Double orange starfish, double India Pale Ale. I do not like IPAs. But this IPA was free, and it is now cold. So I'm going to drink it and pretend. Not going to pretend to like it, but I'm going to drink it. That's where I should have stopped that sentence. Should put a little cameo in all the vids about the Wednesday live get together. I have, Jeremy. I have. I won't say back in the day, but when I was doing videos more frequently, the the end outro included a blurb about coming here on Wednesday nights. Oh my god. Oh. I do not like IPAs. Oh, too much hops. I'm still gonna drink it because it was free. Quentin says I'm pulling up the Dash House bumping Ja Rule. Go right ahead. I will put some headphones on to block you out. It's just, yeah, that's good for tricky as long as it's not in the nosebleed. So people that watch older videos know about it. They should. Do people come and join us on the videos? Probably not. We pause for this short chastisement. Veni Vidi Vici was actually a good album. You know what? So you know it's funny, right? Speaking of Ja Rule, have you guys seen or heard that meme recently of people who do things and they're like, "Oh, if you couldn't afford the prices, then why you even?" And then this Ja Rule, bitch, I ain't doing this for nothing. You know, one of those type things. Yeah, that's kind of like the best thing that came out of Ja Rule, like really. And that's just a meme that someone put together 15 years after the fact. I mean, yeah. Quentin says, I don't even play music in my car, but I'll make an exception. Put some respect on Mr. Rule's name. What do you listen to in the car? You don't play music. Or do you just do podcasts? Or are you like that NPR person? What do you listen to when you are driving? Do you eat or drink soup? You... I'm gonna flip this one on your head. Is cereal soup? It's cold cereal soup. Actually, hot cereal too. Oatmeal, cream of wheat, grits. Is that soup? And I eat soup one spoonful at a time. Usually, I don't drink. But at the end of the bowl of pho, I'm gonna drink that bowl because I'm putting that directly to my lips. That would be a drink. But if I'm using a utensil, then I'm going to be eating it, I guess. Mr. Silver Bar says, if you discussed this before, I apologize. Have you ever considered opening up your own barbecue shack? I have, Silver Bart. The problem is Maryland is not very conducive to it. To do it on a trailer, it would require lots of hoops. That being said, I really would be more interested in doing a brick and mortar, which would be a dedicated barbecue spot. But ain't got no money for that at all. Definitely don't have any money for that. Quentin says double IPA and you don't like IPAs? Damn, that's gangster. Yeah, I'm about halfway done. I despise IPAs. Seriously, I do not like IPAs. You have to drink 3 sips of the IPA and it gets better. No, it doesn't. Pour it in a glass. No, I'm not dirtying it. I'm not sullying my glass with this. No, like. Y'all have no idea on the depths that I will trudge for free beer. Like, the only thing better than free beer is cold free beer. And this beer is cold now. You see my face? It ain't changed. It's like the Henny face, but it's the IPA face. Or chug the whole thing, whichever works. Yeah. I view the grill as Johnny. Cover stuff is Jimmy, yes. Well, it's bullish, yeah. But most importantly, there's only one Angela. Well, oh. So thoughtful. How many pairs of shoes do you own? I do not own that many shoes, but then again, I also do not wear out slash throw out my shoes. Like I'm not that person that has 20 pairs of shoes. Um, so I'm thinking like right here in this immediate vicinity. One, two, three, four, five. I have 5 pairs of Crocs that are within arm's reach of where I'm sitting because they just end up under the table where I'm sitting. I have a pair of sneakers that's under this table. I have a pair of boots like these. Those are my work boots. I wear those boots out and doing yard work and washing cars and working on cars and sometimes when I'm cooking. So that's 6, 7. I have a pair of decent shoes. 8. Uh, 1 or 2 other pairs of sneakers. 9, 10. And then I have some other shoes that if I had to wear them, I could, but they're probably like I haven't worn them in such a long time. They're probably falling apart, and I wouldn't want to wear them. So I mean, I think all told, I might have 10, a dozen pairs of shoes. I'm not that shoe guy. Like I'm not. I'm really basic and plain. My shoes, I'm so very simple. My wife calls it my uniform. I wear usually a pair of black pants every day and one of my barbecue shirts every day. I have multiple shirts, multiple pants, but there's usually same thing almost every single day. Today I have on one of the old school. If you guys remember, Angela, actually you have this shirt. This is the old school Steel Drum Smoker shirt. Um, I got this shirt printed because I was like I had the business cards and I said okay I'm gonna put a business card on my back, so the front looks like the front of the business card, or the top of the business card, and the back looks like the back of the business card. Da-da-da-da. Spencer says cereal, soup is way too late and too many gin and tonics to get into this. Quentin says sports radio 95%, comedy station 3%, weather 1%, and Ja Rule the rest. My God, I mean the fact that you actually did that right there. Ah, yeah. Uh, Josh says, have you publicly commented on the new Netflix barbecue showdown when Thyron is THYN uh one comments on the series? So the last week or 2 weeks ago, Thyron was here on a live stream, and I congratulated him on being on the show. I did not say that he won. I like to give people time to, see the show. So I did not comment on the fact that he won, but yes, I did comment to him. I left a message on his one of his videos congratulating him, and I made mention of the series on Netflix, but I didn't comment publicly. I talked to a couple people offline about it. Give my thoughts. Melissa Cookson, she's a savage. I feel like she was a little too judgy for me. But it is what it is. She's probably the person that didn't allow me to get on the show. I've since talked about it. I actually auditioned and got uh, pretty far, in my opinion, on the show where I had to do a one-on-one cook for a producer, and this was towards the end of COVID. So COVID and protocols and all that stuff like that. I mean, had to sign NDAs and everything. So I didn't talk about that show. I didn't talk about it to anybody. I think I talked about it to my wife and my kids, and that was about it. Um, and yeah, I didn't say anything to anybody about that show. But I did not get cast. So I was wondering who, who did. And I saw Thyra made it. Once I saw the previews, I'm like, oh wow, I know that guy. So, but it's one of those things, Josh, where I would say he really. I mean, I don't know how he went from like tucking his tail and almost crying in the beginning to, eventual victory. But that's the whole point of the show. It brings out the best and the worst of you. And he prevailed. He prevailed. He prevailed. But there were things in the show that I did not particularly care for. There were things that Thyron did that I did not particularly care for. But that's just me. I I cook a certain way. I want to see certain things, and when I see people doing things that I don't particularly care for, it rubs me the wrong way. Those are my pet peeves, my triggers. I'm triggered. I'm not triggered, but I'm just that's just not something I particularly care for, so it rubs me the wrong way. That's it. There's certain things, like I said, certain things he did. Everybody did. Oh my gosh. Da, da, da. Steven says, okay, folks, 5 a.m. comes fast. Y'all have a good rest of the week. You too, sir. Have a good weekend, Steven. 3 minutes behind. Quentin, no, so this is Quentin. If they had actually released the Murder Inc. album, XJ, it would have been fire. At least we had Murdergram. Well, see, I'm a much bigger fan of DMX and Jay Z. Just Ja Rule never did it for me. Good night, Steven. Again, says my wardrobe is basically the same dash. I'm in joggers and a Deloitte or a school shirt every single day. Just like to be comfortable. I don't need impressing one. My whole thing is I'm practical. I can get dressed. Well, like from the point where I take my feet out of the bed and put them on the floor, I can be out the door in 15 minutes. Showered, teeth brushed, dressed, out the door. Like, out the door. It might take me 20 minutes if I have to um, change over the stuff from one pair of pants to the other. Like in the mornings when I go, and here we go, Quentin, talking about charging the car. In the mornings, I get up and I go charge the car. So, like today, I'm actually pretty tired. I woke up this morning at 4:15 a.m. I woke up at 4:15 and I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it's 4:15. Why am I awake? And I was like, oh, I'm trying to get back to sleep. And then I popped my head back up like, shoot, I gotta go cook a brisket. Turned out of bed, put my feet down, got showered, got dressed. I was downstairs in 15 minutes. Come downstairs, go outside. I clean out some ash from the smoker, from the Traeger. Ash and some pellets from the Traeger. I'm like, all right, cool. I then start the Traeger, come inside, trim the brisket, season the brisket, twiddle my fingers. I put the brisket on right at 5 a.m., like right before 5 a.m. 5 a.m., I'm back in the house. I look at the time. I'm like, all right, well, you know what? Time to go charge the car. I go 15 minutes away to charge the car, half an hour charging the car, 15 minutes back home. It is now 6:03. 6:03. I listen for taste test number 3. He's not awake. I yell upstairs for him to get up. He gets up. Comes downstairs late, of course, because he overslept more or less. Because I wasn't here to wake him up. Then he's like, "Hey, is there any way you can take me up to the bus?" There was a bus that picks him up on the corner, but when he takes that bus on the corner, he's got to transfer to a second bus or a third bus. If I take him to this other bus, he only has to transfer one more time. So, all right, come on, get him in the car, take him up to where the bus is. Then I'm like, all right, well, hell, I'm up and it's early. I'm gonna go to Panera. I'm gonna go get a drink. I go get a drink, come on back home. And I told you about the tile earlier. The tile is still sitting in my car. So I'm like, Carolina squad, man. But take him to the bus, go to Panera, come back home. Take taste test number 3 to school. We run to Lowe's real fast to pick up odds and ends. Come back home. Great. Then I had to go back to Lowe's or Home Depot this time. We went to Home Depot. Went back to Home Depot. Went to Home Depot and had to pick up another thing or two. So that was my lunch. Going to Home Depot, come back home, and we ended up leaving out just after 2 o'clock to go and get this last thing that we got. So let's see what are the producers looking for. You're our champion. You can't believe you didn't make it. So, Mr. Silverbark, so here's the thing, man. I don't know. Well, I probably would have done. There are certain things that I can do and can't do. Um, I don't know how I would have done on the like fire management. I'd have been great at fire management, but as far as putting together, like I have kind of a set, let's say bit, but I figured out the combination of seasonings that I like. Having to create seasoning from scratch, though it wouldn't have been my forte, I could have definitely done it. I mean, I have a very decent discerning palate and understanding of different spices and seasonings, but I don't know what they were looking for. I wish I could have told you. I mean, I had the producer I was talking to. I was cooking for. I mean, I had her laughing, and I was asking her questions about her, and I'm like, this is not just gonna be a one-sided conversation. I'm gonna talk to you while I'm doing this. I'm like, we're gonna have a conversation. So Angela wrote this comment at 11:10. Oh gosh, I'm 6 minutes behind. Josh says, "Is Melissa the blonde, the white hair judge? I hated her in the series. Not impressed with her. I met Edgaro in CJ's backyard. I have much to say." Oh, Wario, or I guess Eduardo. Come on. 2 hours, 13 minutes until EV talk. Oh, we're back to being a barbecue channel now. Yeah. First love. Marlon said, "Dude, you were talking about washing my hands. What kind of shower are you talking? What kind of shower are you taking where you are out the house in 15 minutes? Dude, 5 to 7 minutes in the shower. Seriously. I mean, if I take a shower at night, and if I take another shower in the morning, like just 5 to 7 minutes. And that includes brushing my teeth. Look, Quinn said military showers are less than 2 minutes to get the important bits and get out. There you go. No, man. Most memorable shower was the first one I took after boot camp in my own house. Go low. That thing just chilling for at least 88 minutes. Well, listen, yeah, that was BS in the Air Force. I was taking 2 showers a day. What's the shit? We barely got one a day. Love you, Dad. Just gotta go to bed. You the man. Oh man, Josh, I want to hear about Eduardo. I'm trying to think which person, who that was. Like he made it to like the second, maybe third episode, and I was digging what he was cooking. But I'm telling you, man, I don't know. And it's one of those things. Look, I'm not a fan of those competition shows. Like I'm not. And I want to say it goes against everything in my being to have done it. But I was like, hell, somebody thinks I'm important enough, or somebody saw what it was I was doing and was like, all right, we'll give this guy a shot. Yeah. So, but I mean, I tried out. I mean, I definitely tried out. Had to send in a whole bunch of pictures and like talking about this and talking about that, and oh man, it was some hoops to jump through. Like I said, I made it to the second, maybe third round of. I guess it was more than that, or deeper than that. Johnny, you still here? Johnny, when I did my cook, I actually used the knife that I won on your channel. I made. Oh, Angela can appreciate this. I made that tomato, avocado, and onion salad. That was the thing. That was the component that I made live. So the whole thing was they wanted they wanted you to make a protein ahead of time. And then that protein was made ahead of time. And then what I had to do was make a side on in real time and prepare it for a producer. I mean, like I said, they paid me to do it and everything. Like they paid me decent money to cook. And I was like, shoot, this is an hour and a half. All right, cool. So yes, I made that tomato. It was tomato, red onion, some cilantro, some lemon, and avocado. Marlon said after week 3, the left us alone, so I took my shower around 1900. Yeah. Gwen says, here's a memorable moment. I was watching one show, and the dude said the guy didn't season his pasta water properly. Like you can tell that from the spaghetti is currently covered in sauce. I mean, it's one of those things where they watch what you're doing, and they are just like me. If I see you doing something, and I've told you guys this before, if I see you do something that I don't particularly care for, I'm probably not going to watch more of your videos. And I've seen people do things where I'm just like, nope. That was fun. It was cool while it lasted. There are just certain things that I don't particularly care for. Again, this is my own personal pet peeves. I won't say bias, but personal pet peeves. And there's just, it is what it is. Quentin says, I was done with trying to cook for people because I always felt someone's going to be bitching about something so stupid. Like the judges be critiquing on these shows. I agree, Quentin. That's why I was like, oh man, I was like, oh no, I didn't make it. I was not. I mean, that didn't take away from who I am or what I cook or how I cook. So I was like, all right, cool. In other news, yeah. All right, Quentin. I think there's another IPA. There was 3 different beers that I procured. Oh my gosh, it's almost 11:30. Should I get the next beer or the other beer and try to drink it, or should I fall asleep? Because I am ready to fall asleep. Like I said, I started my day this morning at 4:15. Seriously, why I changed my major? My little heart couldn't take it. What was your major, Quentin? That you changed your major? Remember says yes. Quentin says fall asleep. You guys are the worst. The worst. I want to say I've had 0 energy drinks, but I've had this charged lemonade, and it's got a lot of caffeine in it. I want to take a couple sips of that. Oh, thank you. Culinary arts? Seriously, Quentin? You were going to school for culinary arts? What? How did I not know that? And then you went to cyber? Like computer and programming? Over what? Jimmy says sleep. You need it. Yeah, I know. All right, we'll go to 11:30. Quentin says Chef Q was gonna be out there in these streets, and then I saw these shows, and I'm like, how cray these judges were. I was like, nah. Yep. Terry says my most memorable moment was cooking for the city, 125 people. We supplied everything and served, and they only paid us $1,200. What? Yo, that's not even $10 per person. What? Oh, oof. Was that like, did they still owe y'all money, or was that the final invoice, the final bill? That seems like such a low amount of food. How did that work out? Questions you got, yo, you gotta realize I could cook all day long and not be upset or hating life. I love to cook, absolutely love it. No, I get it, Quentin. It's not you. Like I'm just beat. Man, I have the windows open across from me and those window behind me is not open, but it feels great. That breeze. But I'm getting ready to close this out because I'm gonna be asleep on before you know it. Quentin says you gotta realize I could. Oh wait, I read that one. But I'd be damned if some little snot-nosed punk kid is going to give me a 1 star because they choose the sauce they chose is spicy. Yeah, I get it. Quinn says I'm at this kid's house asking questions. Yeah. That's $9.25 a person. WTF? Ain't no way. Ain't no way. That was what they considered fair. We tried arguing, but it didn't work. Then you tell them no, Terry. You tell them no. Like, no. Back it up, Terry. That ain't gonna work, Terry. Shoot. Jeremy says, well, it's been. Tell all, have a good night. I'm out. All right, Jeremy. Take care. Jimmy said, just a reminder this week, the video isn't frozen. Funny guy. Funny guy. So this is all right. Got to split. Peace out, fam. Definitely. This is all right. So I have to split as well. I am about to fall asleep. All right. So I would like it to get to 2 hours and 30 minutes. Can I do it? I don't know. Marlon said Angela fell asleep on her grilled salad. Grump says goodnight, dashing everybody. Terry says we agreed on 15 ahead and an end. That's called what? At the end that's all they paid. Shoot. No sir. No sirree. I have 24 burgers that I will be cooking next week, I think. 24 burgers, some coleslaw, some mayonnaise, and shoulder sleeve. And I think I'm getting more than $1,200. It's Quinn says goodnight, y'all. I'm in Florida for the weekend. Nice. Alright, Marlon says nights, everyone. Lord, I'm already dreading the humidity. Yes, indeed. Jimmy says have a great rest of the week, guys, and later, Dash. Yes, indeed. Terry, you take care. Jimmy, take care. Quentin, be easy. Drummer says Terry, who knows better than you what your time is worth? Brian dropping some deep knowledge. All right, guys, I am. Golly, we're still not even 2/3. Quincy's Nightman. Check out that chicken. Best I ever made. Check out that chicken. Oh, definitely on Instagram. Quentin is funny. My buddy Andrew sent me some pictures of his Italian dressing chicken. He's like, oh, Jay, it's all God. On your phone, fool. Well, thanks. remember I kind of closed out the message before I got to see the message. I just saw that it was a message popping up. And I'm like, no! Don't kill the live stream! But man, I'm going to sleep good in the next couple minutes. I'm about to crawl into bed. Whew. Quentin, I'm not going to look at it until tomorrow. Just telling you now. Quentin says, I didn't even do the Italian dressing on this one. I didn't know about that at that point. All right, man. Good night. Y'all take care, Quentin says. Listen, Terry says, basically we told to take it or leave it. At least it covers supplies. Nope. I'd have been like, no, I'm not taking it. Here's your money back. Kindly go ahead and get somebody else dumb enough to take that amount of money. You know what I mean? Quentin says, I'll be waiting for your message. Yeah, you would. Dude, I'm tired. I'm going to sleep. All right, listen. Thank you guys so very much for hanging out. Really do appreciate you for being here. If you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. Those of you who are rewatching, comment rewatch gang down below, and I'm gone.